What's up, Eagles Nation? How you doing, NFL world? To all our division rivals who might be tuning in, this is Steven Hyder. This is Gate City Sports Channel, and this is the sports channel that provides about 10 minutes worth of content for the cerebral NFL fan. So, the Eagles caught that L. They caught that L in Minnesota. We did not start our road trip journey the way we wanted to. We got 3 straight. We're basically the only team this year that's going 3 straight. And you've seen all the news coverage that was saying that the reason we have 3 straight road games is because, well, the Philadelphia Phillies were expected to be in the postseason. And I don't know about you, but I can't find the Phillies game. So that's really put us in the crunch, guys. And, shit happens. But you know what? This is what I realized. I went to bed last night after the sun set. And, I got some sleep. I woke up this morning and a funny thing happened. The sun rose. It wasn't the end of the world. It sucks because it's Monday and I got to deal with a lot of people. But you know what? Hey, I'm still rocking my Eagles cap. I'm going to be rocking my Eagles gear this week. The bottom line is we still have a chance to take control of this division and to send Dallas to 4 straight losses. All hope's not done, guys. We got some problems and we got to address them and we got to fix them. But not all hope's done. But anyways, I'm going to go through a little more extensive recap today of basically what the hell happened yesterday. All right, let's get to the content.
Possession for the Vikings. Cook flips it back to Diggs with Cousins leading the way. Stephon Diggs into Eagle.
Point number one, guys. Point number one I want to make about this, okay? About what I saw happen, okay? The first 10 to 20 10 to 20 plays of every game, generally speaking, are very, very scripted offensive calls and defensive calls, right? This is all the preparation, all the film work, all those things, right? Come down into a game plan. And we get to see the execution of the game plan. If you want to know why the Eagles are struggling, it's because for the lack of availability of some players, all kinds of things tied into this. It's not just on Doug Peterson solely. But long story short, we've not done a very good job with the game plan. And that's why we're struggling in the first quarter for the past 2 seasons. A lot to do with availability of players, guys. We haven't had our full arsenal. It's really hard. Those things factor into it. But undeniable. That clip I showed you, brilliant play call. What was the key that I gave? The Eagles had to stop who? Cook, right? I said they got to stop Cook, okay? Dalvin Cook, the Vikings come out in a 12-man personnel, right? Heavy set offensive line, set down to the right, the offensive right, defensive left, okay? With 2 tight end look, right? And a lead blocker behind the lead back they're offset to the quarterback, okay? They pitched the ball to Dalvin Cook to make it look like hey, this is a strong, we're going to try to run the ball down your throat type play, right? Sidney Jones fails to recognize Stephon Diggs put his foot in the dirt and plant back the other way. This is the knock on Sidney Jones. This kid has elite size, elite speed. He's got the physical aspects are there. The recognition is horribly lacking in his game. He's got to go. He just doesn't have the football IQ. So they caught the Eagles' aggressiveness. Watch that film again and watch the linebackers flow. Watch the defensive ends flow. Watch everyone flow to Dalvin Cook. And what did they do? They used Jim Schwartz's aggressive nature against him. We are a primarily cover 3, wide 9, fast flow defense. The Vikings know that. They saw it, and they attacked it. And that was a hell of a play call. Watch it again, and you'll see. They caught us, man. The first 15 plays of the game, they caught us. They came in with a better playbook, okay, with a better game plan than we did. It's truth. Shoot me if you like. Don't shoot the messenger. I'm just telling you what the video shows.
First and 10, 25-yard line, off the play fake. Wentz takes off.
Okay, guys, point number 2 has to do with the offense. This is not some kind of major criticism of Carson Wentz, okay? Carson is what has largely kept us in games we shouldn't be in, all right? He didn't keep us in this game, contrary to the popular belief out there. Carson Wentz didn't keep us in this game because there's nothing he can do. Like, he wasn't going to put up 40 points on this defense. They underperformed a little bit. They should have been able to put up 30, but that's not winning the game. So here's the deal. When you are put in a tough situation like Carson Wentz is, okay, to where you don't have a deep threat at wide receiver, okay? Nelson Aguilar has the speed, but he cannot track the ball the way that Deshaun Jackson can. He's not a good deep route tracking wide receiver. He can't do that. It's just not his game, okay? If that's going to be missing and teams are going to play you to where they hold for a split second to check to make sure we don't hand off to Howard, okay, and then they drop back into coverage, here's what they're doing. They're just dropping, they're dropping back six to 5 to 6 to 7 players into coverage on us, okay? If that's going to be the case, where they're going to drop that many people into coverage on us, Carson Wentz has to use his athleticism like he did on that play. Start making teams creep up to respect the quarterback's athleticism, okay? Carson Wentz has this tool in his toolbox, and without Deshaun Jackson, you have got to use it, okay? Make sure they know that they're not safe. You can't just drop 6 back in coverage and think shit's going to be copacetic, because Carson Wentz is going to keep picking up 15, 20, 25-yard runs on you all damn day until we're in the red zone with our abundantly large wide receiver groups that we have and our bruising running back, all right? If they're going to drop back like that, we've got to make them pay. Carson, for the love of God, tuck it and run at times. It's odd to tell a young quarterback that, because when we were saying, no, hang in the pocket a little longer. Guys, when they're dropping this many people in coverage, it's time to Michael Vick their ass.
All season. Cousins first down, going deep for Diggs. He makes the catch. Stephon Diggs.
All right, guys, my third point. So I warned in my video that we were probably going to see some strange formations from the Minnesota Vikings. And I already covered one, even though I didn't really point out how strange it was. But coming out with 2 backs, giving a look to Dalvin Cook, and then hitting us with basically an end around reverse, that was brilliant. And that was definitely a formation that confused the hell out of us. Well, in this formation where they hit Stephon Diggs for like a 1,000-yard touchdown pass, basically, they come out what looks like to me is the 2 personnel. I mean, you don't see a lot of this run in the NFL anymore, guys. I mean, maybe San Francisco might run that. That's probably about the only other team I could think of that might run something like that. 2 personnel for, some guys might not be familiar with that. What that means is it's 3 wide receivers and 2 backs. So not a lot of teams running fullbacks out there, running H-backs, it's pretty rare. You don't see that too often. So they give us that 2 personnel look, and the Eagles try to match up in something that's called quarters defense, okay? Sometimes, like, you play Madden, like, they'll give you like a 4 deep. It's very misleading because really quarters is the alternative to cover 3, where you still want to have run support and still have deep coverage. The issue is that it can lead to a lot of problems. So the first thing I saw happen on that quarters is they attacked the quarters coverage. They're used to seeing this because Vic Fangio runs this a lot. This was his staple when he was defensive coordinator, I want to say, in like San Francisco, and now that he's in Chicago, like the Vikings, they know this coverage. To me, this was a mistake. What ends up happening is you got a team that's used to this coverage. Whether it's been effective against them or not, they're used to seeing it because Chicago runs it so much. And then to make matters worse, you got a defense that's not used to playing it. It wasn't a good mesh here, guys. And what ends up happening is Rasul Douglas gets confused because in the quarters defense, like that safety that's beside you, okay, that's when you have two deep safeties. You can see both the corners are playing off as well, right? So the safety is supposed to help over the top unless he gets someone coming at him and then he's got his quarter of the field to defend, right? It's a 4 deep, so each person has a quarter of the field, right? Rasul Douglas is expecting, since no one else has got deeper than this guy, that he was going to have help on the other side of him. So he's playing outside technique. So that way the inside technique would belong to the safety. Well, it didn't work out, did it, guys? Because Rasul Douglas looked like a fool in that play. I don't know whose fault it was. Like, I'm not even trying to get into that. My hunch is actually not Rasul Douglas's fault, and that was on the safety, because it looked like Minnesota confused the safety by running a receiver in front of his face, and he bit on it. So, I don't know, man. I don't know. I thought that was a poorly called defensive play from Schwartz, and I don't criticize Schwartz very often because I do think Schwartz is actually way better than people think. But in that particular play, you can see the communication wasn't there because, in my opinion, if you got a deep crossing receiver like that, really the corner should pick that up, and the safety should be dropping back on that receiver that's going deep, Stephon Diggs. There was no communication, and we got burnt.
Wentz over.
Okay, fourth point, kind of last point here, guys. I warned everybody that Linval Joseph and this defensive line, along with their linebacker play from Anthony Barr, was incredible, including Kendricks at the linebacker position. I told you guys, this is going to be one of the best pass rushes and defensive lines that we played all year. And Linval Joseph did not disappoint. If you don't believe me, watch this clip a second time and watch the nose tackle, Linval Joseph on Jason Kelce, and watch the fight they have on this play. Like, it's an incredible fight. So I'm going to run it for you again so you can see that, and we'll talk further, all right?
Wentz over.
Did you guys see at that time, Linval Joseph and Jason Kelce? I mean, it looked like a damn wrestling match out there. Here's what I'll say, man. The offensive line play has got to be better, man, because there are teams that now have kind of a recipe for us to where without an over-the-top threat and without Deshaun Jackson without Carson Wentz using his athleticism in the absence of Deshaun Jackson to run the ball and move the chains and to put pressure on the defenses, man, the teams that can really get after the quarterback without having to bring too much on the blitzes. And don't get me wrong, Minnesota blitzed the hell out of us on the A-gap. With that said, they also were able to get pressure with just a four-man front. And that's a recipe for disaster if this offensive line does not come together. And I'm here to tell you, I'm not happy about Jason Peters. I'm not. He looks like a guy that we're allowed to stay on this team 1 year too long. I love the guy to death, and I'm trying to choose my words carefully because I respect the hell out of the guy. I really do. I respect the hell out of this guy. With that said, I think the decision needs to be taken out of his hands, and he needs to be told, like, look, man, you can gracefully retire, or you can move yourself over to left guard. Because I think that Jason Peters is a million times better than Isaac Seumalo at this point. I don't think Seumalo is a lost cause. I think that he's much better than what he appears, but he is the weak link on the offensive line. And I think Dillard needs reps. I think the only thing hindering Dillard is he just doesn't have the reps, and it's not fair to throw him in there cold against one of the best pass rushers in the game. That's not right. You can't do that's not fair. I think Peters needs to be moved into left guard, and I honestly think that we need to get Dillard out there at left tackle. We got Big V in case we really need to shore up anywhere else on the line. Like, why are we not using every asset we have on the offensive line? I don't get it. I really hope that, and I don't anticipate this happening, but I hope the Eagles have a wake-up call in the personnel department and say, hey, we really need to move Peters into left guard, and we need to let this kid Dillard play on the left tackle. And we got Vaitai to back everything else up on the guard and tackle play. So I don't know, guys, but it's got to give, man. That has got to give. We've got to be better on the offensive line. And I just think Peters on the interior is a wrecking ball with Brooks. I'm just saying that'd be really hard to get any kind of A gap pressure or B gap pressure with Kelce, Brooks, and Peters inside. You show me a team that can get pressure at that point. Dillard's going to have his moments. He's going to be a rookie. He's going to have to learn, but I still think Dillard is an elite pass defender. He can pass block better than most people can that have been in the league for 10 years. So I would give Dillard his chance, give him game reps, get him practice reps, let him develop like we want him to. That's it, guys. That's what I saw from the film. Y'all tell me what you guys think. What did you guys think you saw? You know, what do you think I missed? All that kind of stuff, guys. Look, don't lose hope, guys. This isn't over. This isn't over. We need a cornerback. Listen to me, Howie. If you want to keep your job, you better go get a cornerback from somewhere. Because I'm telling you, this is not the kind of roster that you can look at going 8-8, 9-7 on and getting knocked out of the playoffs or not making the playoffs and think that everything is going to be copacetic with your job. It's not. Too much hype, too much was put in there. Like, I'm sorry, man, this is going to fall back on you because this is coming down to personnel decision more than coaching at this point. So you better go get us a corner, man, or it's going to get ugly. All right, y'all. That's all I got to say, man. Y'all know what time it is. Like, comment, subscribe. Tell me what you guys think. And you know what time it is, guys. We ain't done. We about to send Dallas to 4 straight losses. We need to get ourselves up for this game, guys, because Dallas isn't just going to lay down for us. We need to force them into 4 straight losses. All right, y'all. EAGLES. Let's go, Eagles.